in order to provide better check and balance from our society towards the result of election itself. Yes, we understand that we already have KPU, Bawaslu, and so on and so forth. But we believe that we need to equip the society with as much equipment as possible, so they can ensure that the result of election itself can be held accountable towards themselves. Now I'm going to explain to you. So as the opposition side of the House, we believe that quick count is still important for the democracy. I'm going to explain to you two things. First of all, how quick count will provide better check and balance from society to the election, and secondly, how it will minimize the tension of society during the election. Now, before that, several rebuttals towards government side. Firstly, they believe that the quick count doesn't result as the same as the real count itself. Therefore, it will create bad influence toward our society. First of all, we believe that society already understands that the results of quick count before the election is prone to change, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, society already informed and they completely understand that this particular result from the quick count is actually prone to change itself. But even if, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to create the influence, just like the government said, we believe that the influence itself is completely normal, right? Instead of during the election, it's completely normal for a certain group to influence another people to influence another people that the one that you're supposed to vote is A, for example, and we think that the result of this quick count that really influenced them to vote a certain candidate is actually justified. Therefore, they explain to you why the decision of people that follow the trends is actually not valid at all. We think that it's okay for them to follow the trends that exist by the result of quick count. Second of all, ladies and gentlemen, they believe that it's going to infuse doubts from the society because there's a lot of results and it's going to be various. Now we think that the results of the quick count will less likely to vary that much, right? Why? Because if the quick count body that's doing the quick count itself is actually legitimate, they're going to have the same code of conduct, right? They're going to have the same procedure in order to gain all of the survey sample. Therefore, this is not going to create any differences of the result of the quick count itself. The differences that's created is because there's a lot of unreliable sources of quick count body that's already informed to the society, because society can understand whether or not this body is reliable as a government based on the track records on the previous years, right? Now, lastly, they believe that it's going to create tensions inside of the society. Now, I'm going to directly intertwine inside of my argument why the tension will be much more minimized by our proposal. Now, before I move on to my argument, yes.
You're talking that every requirement is the same result, but in fact, it's divided to two because they can be taught. If you're talking about class record, then we really have for society to really research for the record.
Okay. We think that even though the results of the quick count is not the same, then it's okay. Then the society can have the public discourse and finally decide whether or not this which quick count body that is actually can be held reliable in this particular situation. Now move on to my first argument: how quick count will provide better check and balance from the society to the election. Now, we cannot expect that all people in South KPU are altruist and will always do the right thing and will not violate all of the process of the election. That's why we provide a lot of supervision, also mitigation procedure. For example, we put a lot of witness inside in the voting booth, and also we show all the results of the election to the website of KPU, for example. But we think that this is still not enough. Why? Because even in those processes and gentlemen, there's still a possibility of violation that's still possible to be done by KPU itself. Right? There's still a lot of loopholes. It's not as in like the whole world and also the society can watch this KPU works 24/7, right? But moreover, ladies and gentlemen, the supervision that's done by that's done towards the process of election is only done by big bodies, like for example, only from representation of parties, for example, where society cannot directly go to one booth to another booth and directly see whether or not the result is actually can be held accountable, right? Therefore, they need another actor as a government that can ensure that the result coming from KPU is actually reliable. Now, we think that under our proposal, society have last line of self-defense, right? When there's quick count, ladies and gentlemen, society have have barometer, how the result of the election is supposed to be coming from the KPU. If the result shows different, the society can finally decide whether or not they need to sue the government to the Supreme Court, or they need to deal with the results that's being given by KPU, right? Now, without quick count, ladies and gentlemen, society will not have any barometer on how the result should be. Therefore, society will not be able to expect how the result should be, right? It's really hard for the society to decide whether or not they should sue or they're not. We think that it's just the same as the idea of Indonesian Corruption Watch. Even though we already have KPK that that we assume that they're going to work really well, going to work transparent and so on and so forth, but there's always a possibility that KPK will do some violation and stuff like that. Therefore, we equip our society with Indonesian Corruption Watch, where they can provide all the information towards society independently, right? Therefore, we believe that in order to provide better check and balance, we should have quick count. Now, second of all, how will we minimize the tension of society during the election? Government side believe that it's going to create tension because it's going to create expectation coming from the society. We think that expectation will be even minimized when we have quick count, right? Why? Because with the quick count, this expectation can gradually be minimized during the process of counting itself. How in the television, for example, they can see that for one day the result of Prabowo, for example, is continuously decreasing and decreasing. Therefore, at that particular moment, they can actually expect what is the result from KPU itself. Now, the moment when they don't have any, the moment when this expectation is being built up for the next 2 months, it's going to create this expectation will result in violent action, right? How they cannot accept the result itself. But even if, ladies and gentlemen, our minimizing the tension of the society is not absolute, at least we can by the result itself, we can by the quick count result, we can actually ensure which places that we need to protect more when the conflict is happening. Therefore, we should not ban quick count. Thank you.